What's going on, everybody? It's Cody. Welcome back to the channel. We are back. Opening night tip-off, $20,000 to first place. Pretty tightly priced up top, but there's a lot of value where you can get to pretty much whoever you want on this slate. Makes for a fun tournament slate, in my opinion, but let's talk about my premium content that I'm offering this season over at Odd Shopper. If you guys enjoy my content and want more of it, I have multiple packages. Monthly, $25. Full season is $100. If you guys are interested in that, offering player pool and core plays for Draftkings, core plays for FanDuel, roster construction videos for both sites, as well as the featured showdown on Draftkings. You get live before lock streams, daily underdog draft rankings, and slate notes, and a exclusive Discord. Like-minded people in there, people just looking to win, and then today's sponsor and everyday sponsor, Underdog. My favorite thing about Underdog are these daily drafts. I absolutely love them. They posted one earlier today, already slammed a few of them. Then they posted the big contest, $6,000 to first. I'm going to be slamming quite a few of them, but already posted rankings in the Discord. So those guys are already just jamming drafts. I love it. D-Gens unite. But definitely, if you don't play on Underdog, you need to get over there. Use code CREPASS for a 100% match up to $1,000. But play responsibly. I mean, play within your means. Like, know when to set limits and all that. I mean, don't lose money you can't afford to lose. They just come out with ladders. Ladders are always fun. You don't have to be in a state where you have to use a book. Like me, I live in a state where I can't bet on the book. So having access to ladders on Underdog is cool. And then the streaks, we are definitely going to be trying to pop a big streak this season in the Wnba. Let's look at these odds for these three games, and then we'll break it down team by team. Minnesota at Dallas. Minnesota's 7-point favorites, over under 164.5. Atlanta at Washington. Atlanta's 5-point favorites, over under 157.5. LA at Golden State. LA's 6.5-point favorites, over under 162. All three road teams are favorites, which is kind of weird, but I mean, I get it for this slate for sure. Let's start on the Atlanta side. Obviously, the biggest news is Jordan Canada got hurt immediately in the first preseason game. I thought it was much more serious than it appears, which is definitely a good thing for Canada and the Dream. She is going to be out for a couple weeks, so SWK relieved her in that game and started the second preseason game, so fully expect her to start and see quality run. So at 5,300, she makes for a solid option. Ryan Howard, 10.2K. Solid contrarian spend up. Obviously, we know the upside that she has if the shot's falling. She's going to shoot it no matter what. She's just not very efficient most nights. The only thing that worries me is the lack of peripheral stats most nights. And it's the opposite for Alicia Gray. At 9,700, I think she's a viable tournament option because the peripheral stats are always there for a player like her. It's just if the scoring's there, she's really going to pop for a big game. Bree Jones, I think she's an okay tournament play. I'm probably just staying away at 9,500. I would much rather just play BG, who looked really good in the first preseason game. Then they kind of only played her a couple minutes in the second one. But at 9,100, I think BG's underpriced. I think she looks really good. And then as for the bench plays, like I don't really have a lot of interest in Nas or Coffee just because there's so many other cheap forward options that we're going to talk about here in a minute. But I do want to mention Pow Pow at the flat min of 3K. She was the first guard off the bench in the second preseason game. I do think she's going to play meaningful minutes and can absolutely contribute. She's a very good three-point shooter. She's a very good scorer in general. So I do think if you're making multiple lineups, I definitely think she is definitely someone to consider for tournaments. Absolutely. Then on the Washington side, not confirmation of anything yet, but I'm not expecting Shakira Austin or Aaliyah Edwards to play. Neither of them have practiced. Both of them have been. This is the preseason game when she got ruled out against the Dream. Neither of them have practiced, and I don't even think they've been reevaluated for their injuries yet. So not expecting either of them to play. Brittany Sykes is going to dominate the usage on this team while she's healthy. So definitely don't mind paying $9,200 for her. She has a big ceiling if this game was to stay competitive, like the spread suggests. Sykes could be in for a huge game. Sonia Citron at 8,400. I'm probably staying away at that price point. There's just much better plays around her and cheaper than her. Kiki Irfin, 7,300. I'm probably staying away at that price, especially since she's probably going to be coming off the bench, probably going to play around 20 minutes, but I just think that price is a little too steep. Stephanie Dolson, I do have a little bit of interest in at 6,900. Assuming Austin and Edwards are out, I think she's a fine play. Best play on this team is by far Emily Ingsler. Everyone knows by now that I am a Emily Ingsler guy. She will fight for your money, and that's all you can ask for a player that's $4,900 on opening night and who started both preseason games and is well north of a fantasy point per minute player. So definitely, I will be playing a lot of Emily Ingsler. Sika Kone is back with the team. She's probably going to play the backup big role or the backup 5. Her and Kiki off the bench. I think she's a fine tournament option at 4,800. Then you've got like Sug Sutton and Jade Melbourne. They're fighting for the starting point guard role. I do think Jade Melbourne wins that role out. I think she's going to start the season just because they're in a rebuild. Why would they start the old vet in Sug Sutton? So keep an eye on that. Obviously, we are going to get this news because it's the first game of the night. So who's starting? It will be decent value. Melbourne is a lot better of a fantasy point per minute player than Sug Sutton. So obviously hope that Melbourne starts. And then nobody else down here is in consideration. Moving on to the Minnesota-Dallas game. On the Minnesota side, the big news is Kayla McBride. As of Monday, Cheryl Reeve in her interview said they've been in contact with McBride, but she was very vague. She just said they're in contact with her. She's away from the team due to personal reasons, and they were supporting her. No mention of when she's coming back, if she's coming back to start the season. No mention of any of that. If McBride is in, I have no interest at 9K. Courtney Williams, 9,400. We know she can stuff the stat sheet. The only worry is like her minutes can really fluctuate. I think she's a solid tournament option, but not someone I'm dying to play at 9,400. And then Fee at 11.8K, like just lock and load. She's the best play. She's the best player on this slate. She's facing a team that's, while their defense is going to be better, it's not going to be that great. Fee is my pick to win the MVP this year, so I'm all in on Fee. Alana Smith, I'm expecting her to play 8,100. She looks really, really good at that price point. We know she's north of a fantasy point per minute player. She can get you all the peripheral stats. She can score. She does a little bit of everything. If McBride is out, I think there's a reasonable possibility that they start Courtney Williams, Bridget Carrollton, Fee at the 3, Alana Smith at the 4, and Jessica Shepard at the 5. If Shepard starts, 7,600 is probably too cheap. She almost went for a triple-double the last preseason game. Obviously, Alana Smith did not play, but she's a great fantasy point per minute player. She is great at getting peripheral stats. She's one of those players that if she scores at all, she's going to have a pretty good game. Obviously, if McBride is in, really hurts Shepard's value at 7,600, makes it hard to really prioritize her. Bridget Carrollton, 6,100. I think she's a fine mid-range play either way. She's locked into about 30 minutes a night. And then if McBride is out, I think you can consider Natisha Heidemann and maybe even Carly Samuelson. Both these would get a little bit extended if McBride were to be out. Obviously, if they were to start Heidemann or Samuelson over Shepard in the event that McBride's out, that they would look really good. Just Samuelson's just not a very good fantasy point per minute player. And Natisha Heidemann on a team like this, she's going to need to hit her threes to really hit any kind of value. But at 5,100, if McBride's out, I definitely think she is in play for sure. On the Dallas side, Arike, we know what she's going to bring to the table. She's going to shoot the ball a lot. She's a lot like Ryan Howard, but a little bit better. She's not very efficient, but she's going to shoot it. Nobody's ever going to change that for her. She does have Paige with her now, going to set her up with better opportunities and probably pull a little bit of the defense away from her. So I'm expecting Arike to have an Arike year where she's She's going to post some huge fantasy games, and then she's going to post some duds. You just have to. It's just part of the Enrique experience. I do think she is in play at 11.4K just with her ceiling. Paige Becker's 9,900. It's hard to get there, but I do think she is tournament viable just because there's a lot of cheaper plays on this slate, and she's going to be very, very low owned at that price point. Big T, 8,700. Need to see the starting lineup. That price is really steep for her, and she did not start the second preseason game this year. So definitely keep an eye on the starting lineup. If she starts, she's always a good tournament option just because if she starts strong, she'll be interested the whole game. If she starts poorly, this new coach will yank her almost immediately. Like the first preseason game against the Aces, she barely played because she was very lazy on the defensive end, pulling normal Big T things. Then Alyssa Smith, 8,600, good fantasy point per minute player. Don't mind her at that price point. Dejanay, 8,500. Worry about the offensive output on a team like this, like where she's pretty much going to be the fifth option on offense. So 8,500 is pretty steep. It's the tough matchup. She's okay. I'm not someone I'm rushing to play. Misha Hines-Allen is who started the second preseason game over Big T, so definitely keep an eye on that. If she starts, I think 7,100 makes for a solid play, especially since she's such a good overall player. She's very well-rounded, will get you the peripheral stats. But if she is not starting, 7,100 is too steep. Ty Harris, I'm staying away from. Maddie seems priced about right, but she's going to be pretty score independent. I'm probably just staying away from everyone else on the bench. The late game, the late night hammer. This is going to be the best game on the slate, in my opinion. I'm really excited to watch this game. A lot of DFS action is going to be in this late game. Starting on the Spark side, Wnba 10.9K. Northwood fantasy point per minute player last season. Obviously, they added Plum, second year Rakia Jackson. Their Cameron Brink is still out. I think Wnba does pull back a little bit. I don't think she's well north of a fantasy point per minute player. I think she's going to be close to a fantasy point per minute player. It's going to dip a little bit, but 10.9K is a fine price tag for her against Golden State. Golden State's not going to be that great. Kelsey Plum, 10.5K. I think she's a great tournament spend up because she's going to run the point. She's got more peripheral upside here than she had when she was with the Aces. Obviously, she can score at will. So this is a great matchup for her. Great first game. You are paying a premium for her though, so that will keep people away. Rakia Jackson, 8,800. That's a steep price point for her when she is pretty score independent most nights. Obviously, she can pop for a big spike in rebounds every now and then. Okay tournament play at best. I'm staying away from Odyssey Sims, 7,900, unless she's just starting, which I don't expect. She hasn't started all preseason, so 7,900 is just too steep for someone coming off the bench. Zura Stevens, 7,800, great price tag for her. I actually prefer her to Wnba and definitely prefer her to Jackson. She's going to get you the peripheral stats, and she can score as well, so 7,800 seems like a really good price for her. I'm not really interested in really anyone on the bench, but I do want to mention Ray Burrell, 4,200. She started the preseason game and the scrimmage against Seattle, so 4,200 is a really good price for her. Needs to hit her shots to really hit value, but if she sees a couple of those shots go in, she can post a big, big score. Then the most fun team on the slate, Golden State Valkyrie, making their debut in the WNBA. A lot of news still out here. Obviously, they waived Amit here. So that tells me that Stephanie Talbot and Xander Lassini are healthy, should both be active. Kate Martin should be active as well. Starting lineup was planned to be Tiffany Hayes, Kayla Thornton, Timmy Fagbinlay, Stephanie Talbot, and Veronica Burton. Before their first preseason game, Stephanie Talbot was scratched, and they moved Mo Billings into the starting lineup. So definitely keep that in mind. If Talbot and Xander Lassini are active, probably pushes Billings back to the bench. But as for this team, like there's a lot of really, really cheap plays that are going to play big minutes. I mean, when you look at their bigs, they have Mo Billings, Kayla Thornton, Timmy Fagbinley, Stephanie Talbot, and Zandolosini. Five bigs, two or three wings, and then like they're going to split all of the big minutes. Like those five, I'm not expecting to see Linskins on the floor at all. I think they'll just run Fagbinley close to 30 minutes, and then they'll play Billings at like the small ball five if need be. Because the Sparks, yeah, they'll run Big Z, but when Big Z's off the floor, that's when I expect Billings to play small ball five. Tiffany Hayes looks really, really good at 8,300. She's going to take on just a monster usage role on this team. She's not afraid to shoot it to begin with, but she's just going to shoot at least 12 to 15 times a night. Van Loo probably staying away at that price point coming off the bench. Billings makes for a solid contrarian play, especially if she's coming off the bench. But she would lead that bench unit. She can score well as well. So definitely like her as a contrarian play. Kayla Thornton is someone I'm really, really high on for this slate. She played really well in the preseason. Obviously, really good defender, can get you the stocks. But if she's scoring well, she's going to crush that salary. And then Fagbinley is my favorite of the three here. She's going to pitch in everywhere and probably has the safest floor in terms of minutes, assuming no foul trouble between all of the bigs that I mentioned just a minute ago. And at 5,600, like if she scores, like if she scores in double figures, she is going to crush. Veronica Burton, not the best fantasy point per minute player, but at 4,800, she's fine. I think Stephanie Talbot looks pretty good, assuming she starts if she's healthy. Kate Martin coming off the bench, 4,100. I think if you're making a bunch of lineups, you can toss her in the player pool. Zandolosini as well, 3,800, assuming she's healthy and active. She'll be in the rotation. We know what to expect from her. She's not really going to pitch in very much on the peripherals, but she's going to stand in the corner and can hit threes like the best of them. So hope you guys are as excited for the season as I am. We are back. If you enjoy the content, leave a like on the video. Let's see if we can get 50 likes on this first WNBA slate of the season. I will see you guys Friday afternoon at 5:30 for the YouTube stream. I'll be live for at least 20-25 minutes on YouTube before switching over for the premium subscribers. But let's have a season, guys.